The SEC's got one really good game and then one game in the non-conference that we'll get to last. Auburn and Oklahoma feels like the game of the week. These are two teams that I think are kind of right on the cusp. I trust Oklahoma a little bit more because of their defense and because I like what I've seen from Mateer, but I'll be honest, I don't love that Oklahoma offense. I like it. I'm excited about Mateer, but I still see some hero ball tendencies that gets him into trouble, I think, in tight games. Same thing with Jackson Arnold and Hugh Freeze. Like, it's just Hugh Freeze has this way of having turnover-prone quarterbacks. We haven't seen it yet from Jackson Arnold. He's been mostly a runner. This is a really interesting matchup with Oklahoma, I believe, laying just around a field goal.
Have you seen that? I've seen that 6.5 the last time.
Oh, excuse me. You're right. I was looking at the first half line. I'm sorry. -6.5. Oklahoma -6.5. Thank you.
Yeah, and you know what? It kind of gets lost. What has Hugh Freeze done? I mean, he beat Nick Saban a couple times and has this reputation of that. But his last year at Liberty was awful. He left Ole Miss, when it got bad. And so far at Auburn, this hasn't worked. They have the one good win over Baylor to start the season, and this is a better team. And you're right, Oklahoma's got a weird thing happening, especially with its running game. For some reason, Jay Knott's not been a part of it so far.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Nobody knows. It's an odd thing because he's an all SEC caliber guy, or at least he was supposed to be in the preseason call, and he's just not getting any work. And Mateer's playing well. I do think this is where I'm just going to fall for the basics, the home field. Not going to say revenge because that's not. I don't think anybody hates Jackson Arnold, but I do think that they're going to take it to him. I think Oklahoma wins this pretty convincingly, and 6.5 seems like a lot, but it might be a relatively low scoring game. But I'm going to go with it. I'm just going to say Oklahoma and just give away the points.
I like Oklahoma too. Here's why. When I watched Auburn, the one thing I noticed, again, this is a new quarterback and a new system, and Hugh Freeze, I think, is a really smart play caller. But if you watch closely that South Alabama game, Hugh Freeze is running it all from the sidelines. And he's got his finger on the button, talking to Jackson Arnold right up until the snap, dissecting what coverage is and what to do. You're not going to be able to do that on the road in Norman when the crowd's screaming and yelling like crazy. So I think the check with me offense doesn't travel well.
Yeah.
And that's where I think things might get out of control for them.
And we've talked about this before. It's kind of one of my issues where, take this to the NFL, like Jake Browning or whatever. Well, he comes in and what do they tell him to do? Hey, just go for it. Just chuck it. And what happens? Sure. He looks great. Bryce Young at the end of the game last week, they were down. So what do? Hey, just start throwing it already. These guys are so painfully overcoached not to screw up. And so what are they doing? They're screwing up. And when are these guys great? The second you say, go out there and just be a quarterback. Don't worry about it. Just throw. All of a sudden, Browning threw a bunch of interceptions, but he won the game. Same thing with Arnold. It's like he's so overcoached just to not screw up that I think he's fine. Look, is Auburn better than Michigan? No. And Michigan lost 24-13 to Oklahoma. I think you're going to see something kind of like that.
I agree. Jackson Arnold's been abused in the run game, too. I think he's got the second most carries on the team. He put on some weight in the offseason, but he is going to be battered and bruised. That Oklahoma defense, Brent Venables, I think that's the one part of this game where I'm not as high on Mateer. I think he's prone to the turnover. But that Oklahoma defense, I felt the same way about the Michigan game, and it didn't matter because Oklahoma's defense was so good in that game that it never really factored in that Mateer kind of had a few of those throws that were a little bit like, whoa, what are you doing?
Kind of got lost, yeah. No, you've gotten this. Actually, what you have in this game of the coach, and now you mentioned Venables, you basically have the Ohio State offensive and defensive coordinators as the head coaches of this game because that's the type of thing where if you're in Ohio State, you could say, hey, you know what? Hugh Freeze is my OC and Brent Venables my DC, and you go on to win national championships.
True.
But head coaches, let's see. Again, this is a big moment because especially Oklahoma. We talked about this with the Michigan game a couple weeks ago. You can't lose this if you're Oklahoma with what's coming next. This is actually as easy as it gets for most. I think they get something crazy easy next, and then it's like look out. But yeah, Oklahoma has to win this one.
Yeah, Oklahoma's got Kent State next week, but then it's Texas at South Carolina, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Bama, Mizzou, LSU. I mean, the last 6 games are just – and really Texas too. Those last 7 games, they'll be lucky to win 3 of them.
That's just not fair. Well, I think they can come close. But you can't blow this one and have any hopes
No.
of making the college football playoff.
I agree. I think Oklahoma, because of that urgency, I think they win this game. And I'll take it a step further. If you're listening to this on a Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, lay the 6.5 now. I think we get the 7 by game time.
I wouldn't be shocked. That might be 7.5. Yeah.
Just
Started
a hunch, we
3.5.
get the 7 by game time. I think 6.5 is the right side. I'll lay it with Oklahoma.